All right, today we're pulling back the curtain on the hidden engines that power every successful modern business. We're going to explore the core systems that streamline how things get done, that master the journey of a product, build rock-solid customer loyalty, and ultimately fuse an entire company into one powerful competitive force.
But first, a little reality check. Getting these systems right is a really, really high-stakes game. See, when Nike rolled out a brand new supply chain system and it completely flopped, it cost them over $100 million in lost sales. Their stock price? It took a nosedive. This quote from CEO Phil Knight just says it all, doesn't it? It's a powerful reminder that the right tech can make you a legend, but the wrong move can be an absolute disaster.
So, where do we even begin? Well, the first big challenge for any business is just getting its own house in order. It's all about optimizing that internal engine. The real question is, how do you make sure all those moving parts inside the company are actually working together smoothly?
And the answer starts with something called a business process. It sounds a little boring, I know, but it's everything. A business process is just the step-by-step recipe for getting something done. You know, from the second you click buy online, to the robot that zips around the warehouse to grab your item, all the way to the delivery truck showing up at your door. That whole journey is one big, carefully designed business process.
Now, these processes pretty much fall into two camps. On one side, you've got the stuff the customer actually sees, the front office. Think sales, customer service, billing. But on the other side, you've got the back office. That's the internal engine room, handling stuff like strategic planning, budgeting, and logistics. The real magic happens when these two sides are in perfect sync. And that's also where the biggest headaches are.
So what happens when those processes get old, clunky, or just broken? That's when you bring in the big guns, Business Process Reengineering, or BPR. And listen, this isn't about just making a few small tweaks. As you see here, it's a radical redesign. It's about looking at how you do things and asking a really tough question. If we were starting this company from scratch today, would we do it this way?
Okay, so once a company has its internal acts together, the next challenge is everything happening outside its four walls. We're talking about that incredibly complex journey a product takes, from raw materials all the way into a customer's hands. It's all about mastering the flow.
And that flow is managed by something called supply chain management, or SCM. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like air traffic control, but for products. It's the system that coordinates every single player, your suppliers, your factories, your delivery trucks, to make sure the right thing gets to the right place at the right time without wasting a single penny.
Let's make this real. Think about a bicycle. It all starts with suppliers who provide the metal, the rubber, the plastic. Then a manufacturer puts it all together. A distributor ships it across the country. A retailer puts it on the shelf. And finally, you, the customer, buy it. SCM is the invisible brain choreographing that entire dance every single step of the way.
And here's the key. Having an amazing supply chain isn't just about being efficient. It is a competitive weapon. It cuts down on waste, gets rid of delays, and makes a company incredibly nimble. Think about a company like Zara. They can take a design from a sketchpad to a store rack in just 2 weeks. That insane speed is their advantage, and it's all powered by brilliant SCM.
Okay, so your internal engine is finely tuned, and your supply chain is a work of art. But none of it matters if you forget the most important part of the entire equation, the customer. In a world with endless choices, the real battle is for their loyalty. And this is the world of customer relationship management, or CRM. It's so much more than just a digital address book. A great CRM system is a strategic tool that remembers every single interaction a customer has with your company, every phone call, every purchase, every website click. It's all about building a complete 360-degree picture of your customer so you can build a real, lasting relationship.
And what's super interesting here is that CRM kind of has two brains. You've got the operational side, which is what the salespeople and customer service reps use every day to do their jobs, but then you have the analytical side. That's where the system digs through all that customer data to find hidden patterns and insights to figure out what your customers actually want, maybe before they even know it themselves.
And those insights are what powers some really effective sales techniques. I mean, you see this stuff all the time. Cross-selling is the classic "do you want fries with that?" offering something that goes with what you're already buying. Upselling is when they suggest a better, more expensive version. Both of these strategies work best when they're backed by really solid data from a CRM system.
So we've tuned up our processes, we've mastered the supply chain, and we're totally focused on the customer. But there's one last massive problem that can cripple a company: silos. What happens when the finance team, the HR team, and the marketing team all have their own separate systems that don't talk to each other? You get a disconnected, slow, and inefficient organization that's basically flying blind. The fix for these silos is called Enterprise Resource Planning, or ERP. The absolute best way to think about an ERP system is as the company's central nervous system. It wires together every single department, from finance to manufacturing to sales, into one single unified system, making sure everyone is working from the same information. A single source of truth.
The real power of an ERP comes from how it's built. It literally tears down the digital walls between departments by replacing dozens of separate, conflicting systems with one shared database. And because it's modular, a company can just pick and choose the pieces it needs. But the end game is always the same: give everyone the right information so they can make smarter decisions faster.
At the end of the day, an ERP system transforms a company from just a collection of different departments into a single, intelligent, cohesive unit. When everyone is working from the same playbook, as we see here, collaboration just skyrockets and the whole organization levels up.
So, let's put all the pieces together. We've looked at all these systems one by one, but their real game-changing power is only unlocked when they all work together, in harmony. See, BPR, SCM, CRM, and ERP, they aren't just software acronyms. They're the fundamental pillars of modern business strategy. They connect the back office to the front office. They use data to make every decision sharper, and they create value across the entire company. This integrated way of thinking is exactly how the world's best companies build their winning edge.
And that brings us to a final thought to leave you with. These systems are incredibly powerful right now, turning mountains of data into smart actions. But what's next? What happens when AI gets so good that it can predict exactly what a customer wants before they do, or see a supply chain problem weeks before it happens? The next chapter of business technology is already being written.